We have Bryan Hayes back in our Trade Center lounge. And Hayes, let's talk goaltending because we know goaltending can be the backbone of your team, especially as you have a Stanley Cup ring in your sights. So when it comes to contenders, though, who's making you feel a little uneasy? Whose goaltending do you trust the least?
Okay, the
at this
least.
Point in time?
I have a few different teams, but if I were to pick one, it would be the Colorado Avalanche. I would say Alex Georgiev scares me the most. I don't love the depth they have behind him. And he's got limited playoff experience. He has a little bit of it, but he's got a 901 save percentage this year. And I might be picking on him a little bit based on what else I love about their team, right? Like they bring in Middlestat, they bring in Walker. McKinnon might win the Hart this year. Cale Makar is the best defenseman in the world. I love their team. They have championship pedigree. The one issue is goaltending, right? The biggest concern. So are there other teams where it's glaring as well? Absolutely. But other teams that have legitimate cup aspirations like Colorado does? I don't think so. So I'd go with the Avs at 1.
All right, Georgiev did just get his very first All-Star nod a little while ago. And I also want to follow up and ask, how does that compare to the Leafs, though? You're still sticking with Georgiev there?
Yes, and again, the Leafs are closer to 16 on this list than they would be number 1. There's no question about that. And they'd be one of those teams that I referenced, Lindsay, that, there's a lot of uncertainty there. What I would say is I think they have 2 tickets right now. I think in Colorado you only have Georgiev. I think the Leafs are still trying to sort out, is Joseph Woll capable of doing this for them? Is it Ilya Samsonov, right? Samsonov obviously has had his ups and downs this year, but he's really coming back into the fold. I mean, the redemption story of Samsonov is truly a remarkable
It's incredible.
one. He's been great recently. Woll, that injury really staggered his progress this year. He had a great start. When he went into the playoffs last year against Florida in relief for Samsonov, he played really well, really comfortable. So by no means is it anywhere close to the top of the list. But yes, I have the Leafs slightly ahead of Colorado right now when it comes to goaltending and how much confidence I have.
Okay, well then on the flip side, who do you have the most trust in right now when it comes to goaltending?
Okay, so I will answer this in 2 different ways. If it's simply the starter, the number 1, it's Winnipeg. It's Connor Hellebuyck. I think Hellebuck's the best goalie in the world. I think he has been for a couple of years. I guess Vasilevsky probably handed him the baton. I know what Shesterkin did a couple of years ago, but in terms of just pure consistency and being a beast, and I think having that playoff-type mentality, I will go with Hellebuyck. He's been unbelievable this year. He might be up for the Hart. He's not going to win it, but that's how good he's been in net. I think he's going to win the Vezina, so I'll go Hellebuyck in terms of the solo-defined number 1.
Okay.
But in terms of a tandem, it's Boston. It's Boston. It has to be Boston. Swayman's been unbelievable this year. Allmark's been great. That's why they've won so many games over the last couple of years. Obviously, they've got quality players. They're well coached. They play a good system. They have stars on that team. But that goaltending, you cannot get a free night. Like, if you play them, it doesn't matter if it's Swayman or Allmark. You're in tough. So in terms of a tandem, I would go with the Boston Bruins.
And that's what you often want, right? The relief, because if your number 1 guy isn't riding a hot hand, you want to make sure you got a backup to step in.
Absolutely. Or if they get injured, right? You get 2 lottery tickets there in net.
All the different options. And you speak about goaltending today. The latest is that the New Jersey Devils have picked up Jake Allen from the Habs, and just over about an hour to go. So we'll see how the day shakes out.